Hi guys, welcome back to Nairobi Legal Insights. My name is Rogers Gerinji and I'm so happy that I'm making one of my first videos after such a long time. So I used to make content obviously more consistently, but along the way that stopped because I've been working on a project that I'll be launching in due course, and I'm very certain that you like this particular product because it is in line with Nairobi Legal Insights, basically enhancing my vision. Now, I also went back to school to focus on my master's in international financial law and regulation, and I'm also going to be sharing the knowledge that I've gained out of this particular master's so far. So these are the things that have taken away most of my time, but that should not be an excuse that I actually stopped doing what I used to do from the past. So hopefully from now onwards, I'll be making at least one video every single week or even more. Now, in our video today, I want us to focus on one key element that you may take for granted before signing a contract. And you're going to be discussing about dates and signatures. Remember, the commencement date of a contract is very critical. So when you have that contract given to you, don't rush to sign off. And the essence of this video is that it is going to enlighten you so that there are certain things you're going to consider before signing any particular contract. It could be an internship contract, it could be an asset purchase agreement, it could be anything. So by the end of this video, and if you watch until I conclude it, you're going to be in a position to be able to actually understand how important a date and a signature is and what to look out for before you actually go ahead and sign a specific contract. And also in the course of this video, I want to make it as natural as possible, not so much editing, so that we connect. At the end of the day, I want you to understand the concepts I've come up with without necessarily focusing on what may seem immaterial. Now, having a commencement date on a contract is very important for various reasons, ranging from validity of a contract to the date of calculating the monetary obligations of the parties. And just to give you an example here, if James enters into a contract of employment on the 15th of May 2021 for the next 1 year, what this means is that every corresponding month on the 15th, then James is supposed to receive his salary. So when I say that it is going to affect the date of calculating the monetary obligations of the parties, this is one of the examples. Now, a date could either be put in introductory section of the contract, something we call an introductory clause, and we're going to be explaining this in the course of more videos to come, or we can also have what we call a signature date. So I want us to be able to understand what are the implications of having a date in the introductory clause and also having a signature date at the end. What is the implication of us having several dates within a single contract? And what exactly are you supposed to look out for so that you're protected as a person signing a particular contract? Now, should a contract have a date in both the introductory section and also under the signature space? Remember, I talked about a signature date towards the end. So these many dates, how do you know when the contract started? That may bring about confusion. Now, if this mistake was made while drafting a particular contract, the contract must actually go ahead and have a definition section stating clearly that maybe the commencement date of this contract will be upon the last party signing this contract. An example here would be that if it is your employer signing the contract last and they put a date, then that date they put will be the commencement date of the contract. So to avoid all this sort of confusion for a student, avoid having a date in introductory section and also having signature dates because that will bring about clarity for purposes of interpreting a contract. And at all times, obviously, it is good to have your date in introductory section. So remember to check out the definition section within the contract. Now, as you can see already on your screens, at all times, remember that a date in introductory clause is more effective. It's more effective than you just having dates all over the document. Remember that the essence of having a date in the introductory clause is that it is going to resolve any sort of discrepancy created by the different signatures, because we may have about 4 different people signing. So it's always good to have that date put in the introductory section. And anytime you're given a contract, because most of the times when you're given, we just sign off, we just focus on the money within the contract. Look out for these key things. And also, remember that for purposes of proper drafting as a student of contract law, do not include a date in the introductory clause and at the same time have a date under the signatures. And the key thing you need to note, avoid this sort of thing. You see what I'm projecting here? Avoid this. You see 10/7/2019. This is not good for purposes of interpretation. In the event of a breach and this contract has been handed over to a third party, maybe it's an arbitrator, or it is anyone trying to resolve your issue, or it's a mediator. You see, this 10/7/2020 could be misinterpreted by different people. Someone would consider this 10 as the month and this is the day, or it could be the other way around. So to avoid all these controversies, so that when your contract is handed over to a third party to interpret for you what exactly you meant when you entered into this particular contract, it is actually advisable that you use this format, July 19th, 2019. This is one of the examples. You see here, the month is specific, the day is specific, the year is specific. But when you just have numbers thrown around, this could be misinterpreted. And every time a dispute arises as far as a breach of a contract is concerned, every party is trying to protect their bargain. So remember, before signing a contract, look out for these small things. The date, introductory clause. Look at the way the date has been written, so that you're also on a safer side for purposes of this particular contract that you enter into. Now, in case there's a conflict in the date in the introductory section and the date under the signature section, courts are going to look at the definition section to know what the date means for purposes of that particular contract. It's very important that before signing a contract, you go through the definition section to understand exactly what different words mean. In this particular instance, maybe under the definition section, we have a statement that provides that this contract will be considered to have commenced upon the last person signing or putting their signature. So that becomes the commencement date. So always refer to the definition section. It can resolve a lot of issues, but for purposes of contract and date, as I've stated earlier, please at all times, it is better to have the date in the introductory section to avoid all these controversies that I'm explaining today. Now, this video has been made courtesy of my recent training program on contract management and negotiation, which is more practical and non-theoretical like undergrad contract law courses, a bit more theoretical. So in case you want to understand the principles and the theory behind contract law, refer to my section on the law of contract. And for those whose comments I've not been able to respond to so far, I apologize, but in due time, I'm going to be able to respond to each one of them. And if you like the video, you can give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much.